From the 1930s to today, the Wyndham is one of the longest running tournaments on the PGA Tour.
We kind of call this the annual Triads Party of the Year.
And the man in charge of the party, Tournament Director Mark Brazel. And the party kicked off with the mayor of Margaritaville. But golf's Golden Bear has some sobering concerns about the game in general.
The game is too tough. The game costs too much. And it takes too long.
But the generosity of tournaments like the Wyndham is felt by local charities.
We are absolutely honored and thrilled for this opportunity.
Continuing the tradition of strengthening the Piedmont one swing at a time. All this and more on our Wyndham Championship Special. Let's tee it up. You are looking at the beautiful Sedgefield Country Club, the course designed by the great Donald Ross. It opened in 1926, and oh, she has stood the test of time with a few upgrades and improvements over the years. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Fox 8 Sports Special, Let's Tee It Up. We are dedicating the next hour to the Wyndham Championship. I'm Kevin Conley.
And I'm Danny Harnden. Our goal over the next hour or so is just kind of give you a new look at one of the oldest sporting events in the Piedmont, one of the biggest sporting events in the Piedmont. And Kevin, we were worried today about the weather, heat and rain. We got the heat, no rain yet.
That's perfect, that's perfect. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from earlier today in the first round of the Wyndham Championship. Again, beautiful first day here. The course record, a 61 held by 5 guys, including a golfer by the name of Kevin Na. He fired a 7 under 63 today to jump to the top of the leaderboard. Na still looking for that second PGA Tour win. Big day for Luke Donald. He was a 65 today, very impressive, but he had a hole-in-one on hole number 16. We don't have video of that, but we do have a little bit of the aftermath. He earned a Wyndham vacation every year for life. His caddy got one too. Luke Donald, a very solid day. Joining Na at the top of the leaderboard, Rafa Cabrera Bello. Boy, he has just had a whirlwind few weeks. He represented his country in the Olympics in Rio, almost got a medal as he finished 5th. He is at 5 under par, so he's staying sort of hot at this point, and he's feeling pretty good after his round.
This is the second time I play this tournament. I think it's a great course. It's a very fair course. You need to drive it good. Obviously, you won't get away with lots of misses, especially with the greens being as firm and fast as they are.
All right, that takes care of the morning round. How about in the afternoon? Scoring a little more difficult out here at the Sedgefield Country Club. Billy Horschel. He won the FedEx Cup Championship a couple years back, got that $10 million bonus. He gets a birdie here on number 9. He had a fine first round day. How about Brant Snedeker, former winner here? And here's a guy, he's one of 5 guys who owns the course record with a 61, or tournament record 61. He had a birdie here on 9. How about Dickie Pride? He's going to miss a birdie here on 9. He had a super day. Again, scoring more difficult in the afternoon. He tapped in, though, to finish at 4 under par.
It's tough when you go in the afternoon, you see 7 unders posted, and you know that you can't be that aggressive. You've got to pick your spots when you can go for pins. Since they've changed the greens over to the Champions, it's very consistent that way, and you just got to make putts. You got to be patient.
All right, Cabrera Bella and Na, again, 7 under 63. That's a really, really good number. Number of players at 5 under par, including Luke Donald and Brant Snedeker. This is something you can't do. You can't multiply -7 times 4 and get -28. The final score is not going to be -28 out here on Sunday. All right, last year's winner, Davis Love III, is not playing here. Usually you like to have the guy come back, try to defend, but he had some hip surgery. He's still here, though.
That's right, and he's here for a very important reason. Davis Love III is the Ryder Cup captain, okay? And the Ryder Cup has become a huge event in golf, really in sports in general. But that's why Davis Love III is here, because he wants to see the guys who are going to make up his team. The annual Champions Breakfast did have defending champion Davis Love III. Even though he's not here to play, after having season-ending surgery to repair a lingering hip injury.
Selfishly, I hate not playing. It hadn't been what we all wanted for a defending champion. I hate missing any golf tournaments, but especially hate missing this one. So it's very strange. I said I went to the PGA Championship, and they didn't have any golf balls in my locker, and I came here, and I don't even have a locker, and no golf balls.
Love shocked the golfing world last season at the age of 51 when he could be playing on the Champions Tour with a final round 64 to win the Wyndham for the third time in his career at 17 under par. Only Sam Snead has won this tournament more.
Yeah, being born in North Carolina and winning a golf tournament in North Carolina, much less multiple times, but be in some of Sam Snead's records is pretty amazing. To chase his record, I'll never catch it, but it's nice to be included in his name anytime.
While Love enjoys coming back to the Piedmont to see old friends, he is here on a scouting mission, and that's to pick the best Ryder Cup team possible for the United States.
Peeking out, watching some of the team guys play, and some of the guys are trying to make the team and not get in their way. I just went in the skybox and watched, so nobody saw me, so it worked out well.
He still has some time before he has to make his captain's picks, and he plans to use all of it for the strongest team.
So
All right, and since the tournament has moved back here to the Sedgefield Country Club, tournament organizers always try to do something to enhance the fan experience.
Yes, Katie Nordine is over at the Midtown Mashup. Katie, what's going on over there?
Well, let me tell you, this is going to be the place to be tomorrow. Joining us now, CEO of Kick-Ass Concepts, Bart Ortiz. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Katie.
All right, talk a little bit about the businesses represented here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got each of our 5 businesses represented. We've got the Marshall Free House, Daryl's Wood Fire Grill, Burger Warfare, Pig Pounder Brewery, and Red Cinema.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, and we've got, I called this earlier, Kick-Ass Concepts Playground. Connect 4, everyone remembers Connect 4, right?
Who doesn't love playing Connect 4? It's a fantastic game.
We've got
a lawn-sized version for you.
All right. And over here we have, this is my favorite, I think. This is Human
Foosball.
Human Foosball. How awesome is this? People are actually going to grab onto the red parts and they'll shuffle across the lawn here and try to make a goal. All right, let's head this way, Keith. Now, tomorrow night, this is going to be cracking at this time.
It is. We've got an after party tomorrow night. It starts at 5 o'clock and goes until 7:30. Okay. We've got live music. We've got more fun games and activities that are going to be tournament style, so it should be a good time.
And I have to say, this is kind of what makes all of this really, really special. You can't beat this view, right?
It's fantastic. We've got an amazing view of the entire 10th hole. We've got a box-style seating up there, and plenty of places to sit and hang out and have a good time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bart, for joining us. Again, Midtown Mashup. Kevin and Danny, I think this is definitely where I would be hanging out. There's also plenty of shade out here, too, which is important.
Shade's always good.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's been hot out here. Thank you very much, Katie. Again, to make it on the PGA Tour, Danny, you got to have a lot of talent. But there's another thing that a lot of guys also need to have, and that's patience.
Yes, that's the story of William McGirt, and boy, did he have a good June. He won his very first PGA Tour event, and also he got to meet Jack Nicklaus. After graduating from Wofford College in 2001 with a degree in economics, William McGirt had a plan to make some big money. Get on the PGA Tour and stay there. Well, did he have any idea how difficult that would be? He turned pro soon after winning the 2003 Cardinal Amateur in Greensboro and started playing all those mini tours.
Tar Heel Tour, Gateway Tour, Hooters Tour, Carolina Mountain Tour, Carolina's Pro Tour, All-Star Tour, U.S. Pro Tour.
William was Captain Perseverance. He really didn't have a backup plan, so he kept on.
I mean, there were several times when I could have easily given up.
This was the very first PGA Tour event I ever played. 2007 was the last year at Forest Oaks. I Monday qualified and played great, missed a cut by a shot at 3 under par, and I thought, these guys are good.
McGirt's big moment finally came this June. His first PGA Tour victory. He won the Jack Nicklaus event, the Memorial. He says after that last putt dropped in, everything was a blur. What does William remember?
Probably when my son came around, all the reporters and photographers running to me on the green. That's kind of the first thing I remember. And then walking over and getting to shake Mr. Nicklaus's hand again. That's kind of when it started to clear up a little bit. The entire trophy presentation, I don't really remember at all. I saw a picture with me with my arm around his shoulder, and I was like, I don't remember doing that, but apparently I did.
That victory earned McGirt a check for $1.5 million, and he received a 3-year tour exemption. It's been such a breakout year, with 6 other top 10s, including one at the PGA Championship. And this guy from little old Bowling Springs, South Carolina, is ranked in the top 40 in the world.
Really have to pinch myself because I'm actually getting to do something that I love to do, something that I always dreamed about doing. How many people get to do exactly what they dreamed of growing up as a kid?
For this Carolina kid, well, he's not a kid, he's 37 years old, this tournament here in Greensboro is one he never misses.
We have 4 majors, but I have 3 more. You know, for me, it's here, Charlotte, and Hilton Head.
William has a good life, a wife, 2 kids, playing golf for a living. His next big goal is to win the FedEx Cup Championship and be part of the U.S. Ryder Cup team. And why not keep aiming higher? How about becoming the top dog in golf? You'd be surprised by his thought on that.
I don't think I would ever want to be the #1 player in the world. I don't think I would ever want to be on the level of a Tiger Woods or a Jason Day or a Jordan Spieth. I wouldn't want to put my family through that because I've seen how much everything has changed and some of the stress that's been put on my family just with winning one tournament. I couldn't imagine being in the limelight all the time and the stress it would put on them then. That's not something, I don't want my kids to have to grow up watching all that.
So I asked William again, when you were struggling and trying to make it, what was your backup plan? He looked at me and said, I didn't have one. I didn't have one either. If this TV thing didn't work out, I don't know what I'd be doing.
I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. All right, folks, a PGA tournament is a week-long full of activities, and the Wyndham Championship kicked off on Monday with the Kevin Harvick Pro-Am. The NASCAR driver, he likes to play a little bit of golf, but like so many of us, it remains a struggle at times.
Lifetime earnings when playing the Radio Tour is about $5.5 million. Yeah.
Plus, the great Jack Nicklaus only played the old GGO twice in his Hall of Fame career. Later, we'll find out why, plus get his opinion on the state of today's game, including the money on the line. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Conley at the Sedgefield Country Club. Professional sports are big, real big, and golf is no different. PGA Tour events have grown into week-long events, and the Wyndham Championship kicked off on Monday with the Kevin Harvick Foundation Pro-Am. NASCAR star Kevin Harvick was the headliner in the Pro-Am that bears his name. His stop on the practice range, a little more important today.
Honestly, it's been too hot to play golf. I hadn't even really wanted to be outside other than when I had to be. So, but it'll be fun. Looking forward to the day. Always fun to come out to the Wyndham Championship.
The Wyndham Championship is the final event of the PGA Tour's regular season. Harvick can relate to the pressures many of the golfers are feeling this week. But Monday was about fun and raising money for his foundation, which has become a very important part of his life.
Instead of complaining about things, we try to go out and do things and if we can help change the direction of a few kids' lives here and there to put them in a better place, that's really what we want to accomplish.
He's one of the biggest names in NASCAR, but on the golf course, playing in front of people, he's just a regular Joe. And he's nervous, real nervous.
I will not have more anxiety about anything than I will than hitting a golf ball off that tee for the first time today. So the anxiety today is way higher than anything that I do in racing.
Now for the moment of truth. The first tee shot on the first hole with people watching, including his pro for the day, good friend Jason Gore.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That was the first time in 5 years that it hasn't gone in the air.
Jason? I blame the truck. It made a big psh in the backswing.
That's right.
That's what it was.
That's exactly what it was.
And his caddy gave him the wrong club. It's always the caddy's fault.
Certainly a whole lot of fun at the Kevin Harvick Pro-Am on Monday here at the Wyndham Championship. We'll be back with more of Let's Tee It Up in just a second. We'll be right back. The Wyndham Championship through the Piedmont Charitable Foundation is a non-profit. All of the proceeds go to local charities. Katie Nordine rejoins us now with one of those local charities that will benefit from the Wyndham Habitat for Humanity. Katie?
Hey, Kevin. Yeah, we are inside the Key to Win building here at the Wyndham Championship. Everybody who buys a ticket gets one of these little key cards, right? And so I'm going to give this back to Daintree O'Brien. She is so why don't we come over here? This is what folks would do when they come into the Key to Win building.
You insert the key. And oh, look, I'm a winner!
Yay!
Prize.
All right. So the reason why we're here, though, is because this is the ultimate prize we were kind of talking about. This is being donated to Habitat for Humanity.
It is. In fact, what we'll be doing is actually they built this house to our specifications, so that what we'll be doing is deconstructing this house after the tournament's over, moving it over to the lot where the house will be built, and we'll be putting it back together with all the Wyndham staff, and we'll be putting a Habitat family into this home.
That is so awesome. And if you look around, it's pretty basic. It's one large open space. You'll also be building some of the walls. It'll be more like a real home.
This will exactly. Right now, there are no interior walls, but you will soon see we will be putting in a kitchen and bathrooms and bedrooms and all the amenities. There'll be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house.
Talk about the impact that this has on families, on local families.
Well, the need for affordable housing in Greensboro is just huge. We have 70 to 80 families who are on our waiting list looking to buy a house from us. And so the fact that we have a house that's already put together, I mean, it's going to give us an ability to do it at less of a cost and much quicker.
Awesome. So exciting. Thank you so much for joining us today. Kevin, just another example of great things happening out here at the Wyndham Championship.
All right, Katie, thank you very much. Again, a big community effort, the Wyndham Championship. And you know what? If you are a sports fan, Danny Harnden has the place for you to watch the Wyndham Championship. Danny?
Hey, Casey, we jumped on a golf cart, cruised all the way over here to a place called the Sweet Spot. It's because if you want to come out here and see a lot of action in one spot, this is the place to be, again, called the Sweet Spot. The 15 green is right over here. This is a pretty exciting place to watch. You see a lot of birdies here. It's a par 5, so that's the 15th green. Then the 16th tee box is right up here, and they hit their tee shots to this par 3 right here. This is the hole number 16, and a lot of fans get to see that up close and personal. And then the 17 tee box is right over here. So you get to see 15, 16, 17, hence the name Sweet Spot. You're in the sweet spot, and you see a lot of action going on right at once. So fans, come on out. If you come out here, this is the place to be, the Sweet Spot. All right, whether you watch the action on TV or in person, you'll see the work of a local company that gives the tournament kind of a signature feel. Brad Jones found out how they do it with images made right here in North Carolina.
When you head out to the Wyndham at Sedgefield Country Club, you're going to notice the work of a local company, Graphic Visual Solutions. One of the first places you'll see it, the tickets that everybody's wearing each day.
If you've got one of these tied to your waist, you're carrying the work of Graphic Visual Solutions, Greensboro company that gives this tournament its signature look.
They just want a look. They want something, they impose it on a photograph, and they want it to look like that when people get to the event.
Some of the items they turn out are huge: signs, flags, logos that will send a message to the thousands of people roaming the course and a much larger audience watching at home. In fact, this tournament is kind of like home because they've got a relationship that goes back many years.
My dad was a JC volunteer, and I remember the days that my aunt was actually typing the pairing guides and the pairing sheets on a manual typewriter and then running them off on the copy machine. Of course, today when you go out there and get the pairings guide, they're in full color and it's a book and a much different picture.
Now they've got large format printing machines that can transfer the image to paper or plastic or fabric, even to decals designed to stick to the pavement. Anywhere, people will be able to see them over and over again.
And last year when Tiger Woods came out, it was just amazing to be a part of that.
And there are even more connections between the companies that work together to make this happen each year.
What's cool about the Wyndham, it's the Triads event. It's a community event, so of course graphics involved with the signage, but all the other suppliers are all Triad based, and they're working together. It takes a couple months of work to bring all these elements together. So when you go out to Sedgefield and it all comes to life, just remember it all started with everyone right here in the Triad.
The weeks before the tournament are a busy time for the folks at Graphic Visual Solutions because they'll have more eyes on what they do than the leader walking up to the 18th green on Sunday.
One of the most coveted things they turn out around here, VIP parking and a clubhouse pass. Unfortunately, I got to give them back. They won't let me keep them.
Very, very good, Brad. Start local, stay local, even out here at the Wyndham Championship. You know, the list of winners of the Wyndham Championship, or the old GGO as it was known, reads like a who's who. You're talking Nelson, Player, Hogan, Snead. Great, great winners. That list does not include Jack Nicklaus. On a recent trip here to the Piedmont, he explained why he rarely played the GGO.
Jack Nicklaus won his first PGA Tour event in 1962, his last in 1986. In between a Hall of Fame career of 73 wins, 18 majors, and the title of the greatest golfer of all time. He only played the GGO twice in his career, 1962 and 1964. He finished in the top 10 twice. He had the 54-hole lead in 1964 before struggling in the final round. Greensboro wasn't a regular stop on his schedule because it was the week before the Masters back then.
The week before a major championship was when I needed to practice and needed to get myself ready for that major. And I was successful at Augusta by doing that. And I started doing it at other majors, and I became successful at doing it the same way. So that sort of became my pattern. It had nothing to do with GGO by any means or Sedgefield, but it just was the way it fell.
Tiger Woods created quite a stir last year, playing the Wyndham for the first time in his career. There was a time when it looked as if Tiger would break Jack's record of 18 career majors. Despite the parity of talent playing the tour today, Jack does think his record will be broken someday.
Oh, somebody will break it. Somebody will break it eventually, whether it be Rory or whether it's Jordan or somebody or Tiger, I don't know. I fully expect Tiger to win more majors. How many he'll win, I don't know. I mean, he does turn 40 this year, so it's you start to look at it and you start to say, I won 3 major championships after I turned 40.
Nicklaus is a fan of the FedEx Cup. This avid sports fan likes the idea of a playoff in golf.
I questioned it at first because I didn't know that how it would work in the fall, but it's been fantastic. I think it's really been very good.
The FedEx Cup winner gets a $10 million bonus. Jordan Spieth won it in 2015, which got Jack on the topic of prize money in golf.
Jordan only won $22 million this year. That's only 4 times my lifetime's earnings on the tour. My lifetime earnings when playing the regular tour was about $5.5 million. You know, the kids today can actually make a living playing golf. We could never make a living playing golf. We had to go out, play golf, win golf tournaments to be able to go make a living. Because we had to make a living off the golf course, not on the golf course.
He did that by designing golf courses and through endorsements. He still lends his name to products today. Nicklaus has also been outspoken about the evolution of golf equipment, especially the golf ball, which he feels travels too far and is hurting the growth of the game on the recreational side.
The 3 biggest problems we've got is the game's too tough, the game costs too much, and it takes too long. And the longer you make golf courses, the longer it takes. And so, and longer is usually it's tougher for more people. So if we bring all this initiative and bring it back, if you're trying to play a golf course at 6,000 yards and have fun, and you can play it in 3.5 hours, good gracious, you're going to bring a lot of people in the game.
At 76, Nicklaus doesn't play competitive golf anymore. Tennis is his new game. But the influence he's had on golf can never be replaced.
The PGA and the USGA are listing with campaigns to speed up play called like Let's Tee It Up or Let's Tee It Forward and Just Play 9.
We kind of call this the annual Triads Party of the Year. I don't take the game really seriously.
The ringleader to that party is tournament director Mark Brazel. We'll get the cold hard facts from him next. This is Mark Brazel's 15th year as the tournament director of the Wyndham Championship at the Sedgefield Country Club, which is located between Greensboro and High Point. But he sees his job as so much more. Neil McNeil has his story.
We kind of call this the annual Triads Party of the Year. And if you love golf, then you're set. But if you're not a golfer, it's kind of the place to be seen and to see and be seen.
And when the Wyndham Championship starts, Mark Brazel is seen all over the place, making sure everyone's happy. Golfers, sponsors, spectators, the PGA and the media, just to name a few.
What is it about the game that you love so much?
You just get to spend time with your buddies, you know, and I don't take the game really seriously. As a matter of fact, if I get, you know, too many people around me, I get kind of nervous. I don't like that, but.
So it's more of a social.
It's such a social thing for me. And
the social components of golf follow him at work too, but it's a lot more. For instance, he spends a lot of time trying to convince professional golfers to play here. It's a skill he started developing after growing up in Asheville, attending Baylor University in Texas, and landing a job with the American Junior Golf Association. There, he accepted and rejected the applications of high school golfers to play in that organization's tournaments.
And again, our number one goal with the AJJ was to get kids into school, into college, and have them scholarshiped into college.
How often do professional golfers today come up to you and say, hey, you're the guy who rejected me way back then?
How about every week?
Really? No kidding?
That's how great I was at my job, yes.
But his work at the AJGA led him to become director of what was the Greater Greensboro Chrysler Classic in the early 2000s, a time when professional golf was undergoing a metamorphosis because of one person, Tiger Woods.
It became big business. Purses went through the roof. The entire game changed because here's this guy who says hello to the world and he takes on the world and he just starts winning.
Brazel quickly realized in this new environment, Greensboro's tournament, which had been run very well over the years by JC volunteers, needed to change.
We needed to have a local board, regional board of power players, power hitters, big influence people that could take us to the next level.
Brazel found that in Greensboro businessman Bobby Long, who's standing on the right here with last year's champion Davis Love III. Long would become chairman of the Piedmont Triad Charitable Foundation, which to this day operates the tournament and donates more than $1.5 million a year to local charities. It's a tournament that reached its pinnacle recently because of, you guessed it, Tiger Woods.
A year later, I'm still blown away by his impact.
Okay, he's not playing right now. He won't be here this year. How do you keep from letting this year become a letdown?
Let's go back to reality. Yeah. If we don't get him, then let's go back to judging us on the years before.
Exactly.
But Tiger brought a lot of newcomers to this tournament. And that was wonderful for us because some of those are going to return because they said, you know, man, this was a lot of fun. We interviewed quite a few of them last year, and they're like, we didn't know how good this was.
He really has done a great job. Now, what would summer be without a trip to the beach? The Wyndham Championship has that covered as well. Danny Harnden rejoins us now. Danny, do you have a little sand between your toes?
Yeah. Well, Kevin, the Harndens didn't have their beach trip this year, so this is my beach trip here at the Wyndham. We are right across from the 15th fairway, and during the tournament, you won't see people like me out here in the sand. You'll see models. And yeah, the TV cameras love to shoot video over here during the Wyndham of the models playing here on the beach. And we're just having a real good time over here. And they're actually making a message out of these rocks over here. These two guys are hard at work. They're going to say the message, wish you were here. And yes, we wish you were here. Wyndham does a great job of talking about vacations. Again, we mentioned this earlier. Luke Donald made a hole-in-one right over here on 16, so he gets vacation, Wyndham vacations for life. And maybe one of those Wyndham vacations will be on a beach. So again, I didn't get my beach trip this summer, but I'm enjoying this right now, just relaxing on the beach across from the 15th fairway here at Sedgefield Country Club. Back to you.
All right, Danny's got it made out there. We've had some pretty good weather here at the Wyndham so far today. We had showers threatening us, but they haven't been a problem. You should take a look at the radar right now. You can see the activity rolling through the Triad. A lot of that didn't even reach the ground, and we don't see any storms to speak of out there for us this evening, so we're looking really good. As we zoom in over the Piedmont Triad, you can see this activity has been rolling through the area now, pushing on off to the south and east. To the northern counties, it's all very quiet out there tonight. To the west, it's quiet. To the south, it's quiet. So really, everywhere we look, we're just a lot better off than we were last night. So we're happy with all these live shots today that it's worked out. How about for the Wyndham for the rest of the weekend? Well, first of all, round 2 is tomorrow. There is a 50% chance for a shower storm at some point during the day, but most of the day should be fine. 88 degrees for the high, 87, a 30% chance on Saturday, and then Sunday, a 40% chance with a high temperature at 88 degrees. We do have a cool down coming, though, after we get past the weekend. Take a look at what's coming up with our numbers. The extended forecast is looking really good. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s through the weekend, and then next week things start to drop. Temperatures will be dropping back into the low 80s on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and low temperatures at night are going to be heading into the low 60s, and we are all, I think, ready for that break. Now, I've got an exciting guest here we're going to be talking about. I am talking to the meteorologist for the PGA, Mr. Stuart Williams. And Stuart, we happen to be friends. Yeah. We've been talking for decades. So so excited to have you here. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how it works.
Yeah, well, you know, lightning obviously is the #1 concern on the PGA Tour. So with them having a meteorologist on site, you know, we have radar, lightning detection. We also set up an electric field mill on site that measures the electrical charge in the atmosphere, and that actually warns us before the first lightning bolt hits the golf course. So using all that technology, we're here to keep the players and the spectators safe.
And you were telling me earlier with your technology that we got real close to having some lightning here a little earlier, and then it fizzled out.
Yeah, thank goodness it held off, because you know, it's good to have a perfect day. Thursdays are very important. If you stop on Thursdays, then you're behind the 8 ball the rest of the week. So it's good to get the first one in.
But now, you know, you are the meteorologist for the PGA, but you happen to be a local guy. You're from right here in the Triad.
Yeah, I grew up in Winston-Salem, went to Mount Tabor High School, and then I've lived in High Point for the last 20 years. So I'm basically High Point native now.
And you can give your school a shout out. Where'd you go to school for meteorology?
I went to UNC Asheville, and I know you went to NC State.
Yep, that's
so,
all right.
But we don't battle.
Asheville's a great school.
That's right.
All right, very good. Well, we're going to go over to Danny Harnden now for more sports. Thanks a lot, Stuart.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Van. If the PGA Tour players want the inside scoop on how to attack Sedgefield Country Club, you know who they could ask? The Sedgefield members.
It's fun to watch them struggle like we can struggle on that shot sometimes, too.
Yeah, the Sedgefield Country Club can be a tough challenge for the PGA Tour players and the members, but they both love it.
Hey there, Katie Nordine here. Have you ever wondered what 60 tons of sand looks like? Well, check it out. This is 60 tons of sand, and we're going to be talking to one of the folks who is turning this thing into a masterpiece straight ahead.
One of the big attractions here at the Wyndham, and I do mean big, is the sand sculpture, which has really become a great tradition out here at the Sedgefield Country Club. If you've been by it, most likely you've taken a picture. Katie Nordine rejoins us now with a little bit more on the sand sculpture. Katie?
Yeah, it seems like everyone who's walking by here, Kevin, is taking a selfie to remember this sand sculpture. It's pretty incredible. 3 truckloads of sand, 60 tons of sand, and joining me now is one of the sculptors who helps turn it into a true masterpiece. His name is Patrick Harsh. He's with Team Sandtastic out of Sarasota. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
So you have done this years in the past for the Wyndham.
Yeah, it's we can't remember. It's like 5th or 6th year, so they run together, but it's great, and we're glad they constantly have us back.
And I know you started off working with clay, and 21 years ago or something, you found sand. How does it compare to working with clay?
It's a really fast medium. You have to work from the top to the bottom because of gravity, and you know you can't push it too far or it will fall over.
All right, again, that's the big sand sculpture right outside the main clubhouse here at the Sedgefield Country Club. You know what? The Wyndham Championship is not only a national but an international event. Golf has that kind of appeal, but when it comes to the local charities, it is start local, stay local. the charities are the ones that benefit the most, and that money stays right here in the Piedmont. Natalie Wilson has more on the fact that it is a win-win.
This is huge exposure for us. There are a lot of people coming out here this weekend, and we're excited to get in front of them, tell them more about what we do, who we are, and our need for growth.
For Parker White, having a display at the Wyndham Championship for her charity, Backpack Beginnings, is one of the best things that could happen to help her address hunger in the Triad.
A year ago, Guilford County was ranked #1 in the nation for food insecurity. This year, we're #9 in the nation, so we're making a lot of progress. And people like the Wyndham, this golf tournament, allow us to continue to work and help more children, so we get off that list of most neediest areas in the nation.
And working at the Wyndham with the Birdies for Backpacks program helps raise even more money that stays right here.
But more importantly, it's all about the kids and the impact that we're able to make with them. And we've touched over 5,000 families, and we've given over 350,000 meals, but we want to do more.
So in addition to raising money and donating food, this year Wyndham is giving away this house that was built to use during the tournament.
This year, this house that you see is going to be donated to a deserving family in the Greensboro area. And it was important to us because we build this house to showcase the product, but instead of throwing it away, we are recycling it and giving it to a deserving family. So we're really happy about that.
Again, a great cause. Hey, you gotta love live TV, don't you? All right, if you are an amateur golfer, how do you compare to the greatest golfers in the world? Well, if you are a member of the Sedgefield Country Club, you get the opportunity for a great comparison. These guys are out here playing your course. Coming up next, we'll hear from some of the members and what kind of advice they would give the pros. Margaritaville has always been popular here at the Wyndham Championship, but it was never more popular than on Monday when the mayor himself, Jimmy Buffett, made an appearance, of course, to sing his most famous song of all, Wasted Away, again in Margaritaville.
A big crowd here that day. That was pretty cool. But after a round, you usually see a band or some kind of DJ out here. The big white tent at Margaritaville, you can't miss it, which brings us to the members, the people that play the Sedgefield Country Club course all the time. What kind of advice can they give to the PGA pros? Getting to play the same course the pros play is pretty cool. Wade Edwards has been a Sedgefield Country Club member for 10 years and finds himself comparing his shots and his scores to the best players in the world.
Well, I do, and I'm left-handed, so I like to think I'm Phil Mickelson, you know. And I always extend Phil an invitation, please come to the Wyndham, you know. We could sure use a good left-hander out here, you know, besides Wade Edwards.
Phil is not at the Wyndham, but many of the big names in golf have come to check out the course that is getting rave reviews from the players. It's in incredible shape. The greens are faster and the rough is rougher than the members play year-round.
We live on the 18th fairway and love watching them hit the second shot. It's the hardest shot on the golf course for them, and it's fun to watch them struggle like we can struggle on that shot sometimes too.
You come out here and sit on the range and hit all the shots that I'm familiar with hitting and see how you compare and all that. It's fun, and yeah, I mean, it's definitely an excitement for all the members. Like I said, there's a little sacrifice, you give it up, but you know, it's definitely worth what you get out of it.
And having the PGA tournament in town brings a special energy to the club. Everyone wants to get back out there and lower their handicap.
You always have these wonderful conversations with the members throughout the week, and the week after, when the tournament's over, it's like, hey, pro, can you teach me how to hit it like that?
Go, baby. I bring people to the tournament and show off our Sedgefield to them and try to get them to become a member.
And when you become a member, again, you get to play one of the most incredible golf courses on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, without a doubt. Van Denton, Katie Nordine, thanks for helping out today.
Thanks for having us.
Well, you guys were in, like, I think every particular spot that there is out here at the Sedgefield Country Club. So it was awesome.
I'm glad we were able to keep the storms away.
Yes,
Thank you.
Van gets an A for that one.
Van.
All right.
Can you do it for 3 more days, though? Can you do it for 3 more days?
It, but I like it up here a whole lot better.
Get off the curb. Get off the curb. Alrighty, folks, that'll do it for our Wyndham Championship special. Let's tee it up for Katie Nordine, Danny Harnden, Van Denton, and the entire Fox 8 sports team, news team. It truly was a team effort out here today. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you out at the course.
Have a good night, everybody.